From the very first frame of Hazbin Hotel, the show tells us that nothing in hell happens without a price, and Season 2 looks ready to double down on that rule. And if you're ready, let's deep dive into what might happen in the second season of the series. 1. The secret behind Alastor. So let's start with the biggest puzzle piece on the board. It's Alastor. He disappears for 7 years, then returns with chilling confidence, new reach, and a hunger for control that feels focused. The obvious question is why he vanished, but the smarter question is what he brought back with him. Power in hell comes from fear, influence, and, most importantly, contracts. If Alastor returned stronger, he likely returned more bound. The line he sings about unclipping his constraints in the final song of the series is not a coincidence, and actually it's a confession to us fans. Someone or something has put a leash on him. Now, put that next to the other 7-year absence. Because there is one more thing to be considered, and it's Lilith. Charlie's mother vanishes for the same span on the same timeline and reappears above the board in a place that looks like heaven's backyard. 2 disappearances. One number, one world where deals glue everything together. The cleanest explanation is that a major plot twist happened on the map 7 years ago. If Lilith traded presence in hell for safety and leverage higher up, and if Alastor traded autonomy for an upgrade in status, then both moves could be 2 sides of the same contract. That's where Charlie and Alastor's deal becomes more than a subplot. When Alastor offers help and asks for a binding promise, we note that it's not a random grab. If the radio demon is already tied to an older, deeper contract, then collecting fresh promises is how he buys wiggle room. He can't break his chain yet, so he builds a net of favors around it. And Charlie, with pure intentions and the hotel's brand of hopeful PR, becomes the most valuable favor he could ever hold. Notice how Alastor never needs to shout to assert dominance. He speaks in terms and conditions. He smiles when people corner themselves, he tolerates insults until a line is crossed, and then he makes an example, as with Musk, because fear is the currency that keeps competitors from picking at the edges of his wording. Charlie's contract is still a mystery, but I believe that it will be an important part of the story in the second season.
Quite as indestructible as they seem.
What are you talking about?
2. Lilith's comeback. Now let's turn the camera to Lilith and stay there longer than the show usually lets us. The flashbacks make her look composed, almost cold, like a queen who believes in order more than intimacy. That isn't proof of cruelty, it is proof of priorities. If she went above to heaven, or something adjacent, to maintain a seat at a higher table, then her distance from Charlie is not just emotional, but contractual. Maybe she couldn't intervene without breaking a clause. Maybe she dismissed Charlie's dream as naive and chose the greater good of keeping interrealm peace. Or maybe she gambled that letting her daughter struggle alone would harden Charlie's resolve into something heaven could not easily crush. Whatever the motive, the result is the same. A mother absent through the most dangerous years of her child's life. That absence is a debt. When Lute appears and tells Lilith to go back and stop her daughter, she actually reads the reminder of obligations that come from their deal. If Lilith's place up there is conditional, then her 7-year retreat was never true security. It was a loan that's now being collected, and that sets the stage for the reunion that many fans expect. Lucifer, Lilith, and Charlie in the same room. And I need to be honest, I wonder eagerly about how it would end. Will Lucifer try to be charming and paternal while hiding his own mistakes? Or will he be completely mad at Lilith? And what will Lilith do against the reactions? Will she be the manipulator by acting soft and calm against the questions? And then there's Charlie. She will either bend and break, or she will look straight at both of them and say, calmly, that love without presence was never love at all. If that confrontation happens, it becomes the emotional hinge of the season. After it, every choice will carry the weight of family truth instead of family myth.
Down there and stopping that bitch. You understand me?
3. The strict exterminations on the way. All of this would be dramatic enough without exterminations, but the show is crueler and smarter than that. Adam's death detonated the balance, and Lute's hunger for revenge means the next purge won't be performative. It will be beyond that. It will be something more dangerous and chaotic than ever seen. Angels will come faster, strike harder, and focus on symbols. The hotel is a symbol. Redemption is a symbol. And Sir Pentious, of all sinners, turning the wheel from villain to redeemed is a symbol that terrifies both sides for different reasons. If a sinner can redeem through weaponized choice and angelic tools can be used against angels, then the wall between damned forever and saved on a technicality is actually a door with a lock. What opens that lock? Consistent remorse? A selfless act? A loophole that forces heaven to honor a promise it made long ago? Whatever the exact requirement is, it proves one thing: rules bind angels too. And if rules bind angels, then contracts, yes, even demonic ones, can be designed to pinch heaven into honoring outcomes it doesn't like. That's why every pen stroke matters. Alastor understands this game better than anyone. If he can position Charlie's contract as a step that makes her hotel legally compatible with Heaven's own redemption statute, then trying to crush the hotel makes Heaven look like it's breaking its own word. Meanwhile, if Vox senses that Alastor aims to launder his constraints through Charlie's goodness clause, he may offer Charlie a quiet exit path, help cancel the contract. But of course, it won't bet out of kindness, but instead to stop Alastor from accessing the Heaven.
I'm about to end your fucking life.
Nice voice.
4. Emily and Sir Pentious. And now comes the most heartwarming part of all this chaos: Emily and Sir Pentious. After endless battles and desperate attempts to prove himself, Sir Pentious finally earns redemption. Emily, whose spirit has always aligned with warmth and belief in second chances, reacts to the news with pure joy. She has been surrounded by judgment, rules, and celestial bureaucracy for centuries, yet here she finally sees proof that the impossible can happen. When she meets Sir Pentious, she doesn't treat him like a sinner who somehow sneaked past Heaven's guards. She treats him like a newcomer who deserves to breathe again. Together they can begin his new life, where he learns to build rather than destroy. Every contraption he designs now is meant to heal, not harm, and for the first time, his inventions might bring light instead of explosions. This partnership also opens an unexpected doorway back toward hell itself. Emily, moved by what she's witnessed, could realize that redemption might not have to be a one-way street. If Sir Pentious could cross upward, then maybe souls below could be reached, guided, even invited. For that, she could send word to Charlie, hoping to create a bridge between their missions, the angel who believes and the princess who dreams. But this connection doesn't sit well with Heaven's hierarchy. Sarah, ever vigilant about order, might see Emily's compassion as rebellion. If she believes Emily is helping Hell directly, and that intersects with Heaven's security, she could cast her down as punishment.
But she was right, Sarah.
5. Valentino versus Angel. And while the heavens tremble over compassion, another storm brews on the ground: Valentino versus angel dust. Their story has always been one of chains disguised as glamour, but Season 2 might finally pull those chains into the light. Valentino's control over Angel is beyond physical, and it includes psychologic too. A mix of fear and false love that traps Angel in a cycle of performance and pain. Angel is tired of surviving. He wants to live. The hotel, the friends he's found, the whisper of hope from Charlie, they all chip away at Valentino's power. And what if Angel isn't alone this time? The mention of his family, his brother, or maybe even a sister from heaven. If one of them appears, it could remind Angel who he was before the stage lights, before the bruises, before Valentino's leash. That memory could bloom the courage he needs to end it. When that confrontation finally comes, it won't just free Angel, but also will expose the entire system of ownership in Hell. He might prove that defeating your owner is the truest form of liberation, showing others that the control doesn't come from contracts or bargains, but from defiance. And that's actually all about what can happen in the next season of Hazbin Hotel. If you want more Hazbin Hotel videos, please let me know in the comments. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like the video too. See you in the next one!